Hello, welcome to Prime Business. I am Pius Kujubaka. And looking at our stories, Chief Executive of DLX Finance, Joe Jackson, says the Bank of Ghana's revision of inflation target of 12% from the 16% projected earlier for 2025 can be achieved if government stays fiscally disciplined. In an interview with Joy Business on the sidelines of the IMF World Bank Spring meetings, the governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Isiema, made this disclosure, citing new monetary measures by the central bank alongside complementary fiscal actions by government. However, Dr. Jackson believes that tight budget controls and strategic spending will be critical.
If the governor of the central bank and the minister of finance say that the inflation target is being revised downwards to 14%, I would say to you that the two of them their actions or inactions can either make it come true or not come true. They hold everything in their hands. And I would like to quote a Nigerian proverb. I used to live in Nigeria, and it says, "You are holding the knife, you are holding the yam. Why are you asking us how much you should cut for a slice?" If the governor is holding the yam and the Minister of Finance is holding the knife, and they tell you that they're going to cut it down to 14%, I would say, if they are commitment, it will happen. The elephant in the room has always been the government borrowing money, which is what you call deficit financing, over and above what is prudent. Now, if the two of them sit down and they will keep to their commitment, that they will keep deficit financing under control, they will keep their budget under control, the governor will do all in his effort to remove excess liquidity from the market. It can happen.
Former chairman of Parliament's Finance Committee, Dr. Mark Isibeyebua, has backed the government's decision not to kickstart talks to extend the IMF program. However, some economists have pushed for Ghana's program to be extended. But speaking to Joy Business in Washington, D.C., on the sidelines of the just-ended IMF World Bank Spring meetings, Dr. Sibes noted that these calls can be described as premature.
So once you're in the program, you have to stay committed to achieving those targets and benchmarks. I think from the last review, thus far, we are doing fine. And so I expect that government will continue to adhere to program targets, and then hopefully we can exit at the right time.
Some have said that there are still some structural reforms that need to be undertaken, and also looking at the fact that we may need some extra funding from the IMF. Therefore, the prudent thing to do right now, looking at the Trump type and all those things, is to push for at least a year extension. What do you make of his stance so far than that? No extension now. Let's focus on finishing this program.
Let's get to the end of the program. Maybe when we are 6 months away from ending the program, then we can really take a review and see if it needs extension. Once you are committed to the targets and you are doing well, you can have technical cooperation agreements with the fund, not a financing program, and then where they support the Bank of Ghana, the Ghana Revenue Authority, and other government agencies. So that could be agreed to, not a financing program, but a technical program where technical support is received from the fund. So with 6 months left, then we can revisit this conversation.
The city is a perfect example about what the fund program is doing for the economy. What do you think it vindicates your posturing? That
I think if you look back to 3 years ago when things went haywire and then the currency was depreciating by day, by October 2022, the whole economy was in a mess. So thank God the former president took the decision for the finance minister to engage with the fund, and then we entered the program, and the benefits are there for everybody to see. I've always said that being a fund program, it's not fatal. You can just continue with them through other technical agreements, and then they bring discipline. They bring discipline, and they rein in the spending. The macros are good. So I think the verdict is the jury is out. So let's see how we end, because sometimes we go off targets and a few years down the line, we are back in another fund program.
Minister for Finance, Dr. Kasiela Tuforsen, has charged the newly appointed board of the Ghana Revenue Authority to begin work to fully automate the operations of the GRA. Now, this, he believes, will make the authority efficient and optimize their performance in mobilizing revenue. Dr. Forsen gave the charge during a short remark to inaugurate the new board, which is chaired by Kweku Rickett-Hagan, Member of Parliament for the Cape Coast South constituency.
On a yearly basis, we have programmed to add at least 0.6% of GDP of additional revenue every year going forward, with the view to ensure that we do not only meet our fiscal target of primary surplus of 1.5% of GDP, but also our debt sustainability target of reducing the external debt service to revenue ratio from 28% in 2022 to 18% by the year 2028. The recent withdrawal of USAID funding alone has impacted over $78 million in health and $156 million in economic growth programs in areas of education and others. This development underscores the imperativeness to ensure domestic resource mobilization. And I want to use this opportunity to urge you that the time is now for us to look within and raise our own revenue. To achieve our revenue objectives, several key areas requires our collective attention and urgent action. The first one has to do with accelerating the modernization of the Ghana Revenue Authority. This entails not merely upgrading systems, but transforming the GRA operational efficiency. A modern, efficient, and automated GRA will facilitate tax collection, minimize opportunities for avoidance, and significantly enhance the taxpayer's experience.
Meanwhile, the board chairman, Kweku Rickett-Hagan, assured of commitments to work with the GRA management to increase revenue through technology.
That the board will function in strict compliance with the Act. Together with my fellow members, we will provide the strategic oversight required to empower management, strengthen internal controls, combat tax evasion, and promote a culture of voluntary compliance among taxpayers while building a tax administration system that is supportive of economic growth. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the board commits to work together with the management and staff of the authority for an enhanced digital transformation, taxpayer education, taxpayer engagement, and staff capacity building, among others. This is because a modern revenue administration requires modern tools, skilled personnel, and strong ethical foundation.
Away from revenue mobilization, the Petroleum Hub Development Corporation has announced that it is working closely with other agencies in the energy sector to streamline the registration process from 300 days to 30 days for energy sector players seeking to operate in Ghana. According to the Chief Executive of the Petroleum Hub Development Corporation, Dr. Tony Obeng, this will enable potential investors to navigate the system more efficiently and make informed decisions about investing in the Petroleum Hub. He made this known at the Interagency Dialogue here in Accra. More in this report. Petroleum Hub Development Corporation's effort to improve the investment climate is seen as a key step towards promoting economic development and growth. To this end, the corporation has assembled various agencies within the energy sector to dialogue and deliberate on how to reduce the registration process for investors in the petroleum sector. Speaking to Joy Business, Chief Executive of the Petroleum Hub Development Corporation, Dr. Tony Obeng, emphasized that the corporation is committed to working closely with other agencies to eliminate unnecessary bureaucratic hurdles and ensure a seamless registration process.
When you want to attract investment into these areas, you don't want them to go through the old-fashioned bureaucratic and inertias that investors go through. Our studies have shown that to get permits, all the permits to establish a petrochemical plant, you may have to spend over 300 days. Which investor does that? You know, sometimes 400 days. You have to go through all the bureaucracies, EPA, Petroleum Commission, National Petroleum Authority, and all that. So we are here to try and see how we can cut down on the bureaucracies so that we will shorten the permitting time without compromising the quality or the requirement of a permit.
He tells Joy Business already some investors have shown interest in the Petroleum Hub.
A lot of investors have shown interest. In fact, already we have an MOU with an anchor developer, I think for about 12 billion. But you see, these MOUs may not say much until we have a clean title to land. Investors come and they don't want to go and see the Ebusuapɛnyin of this family and the Ebusuapɛnyin of that family. They want to see the Ebusuapɛnyin of government. So if the land has been properly acquired by government, then the investor comes, he comes to see government, and government has set PHDC as the hub there to help the investor to acquire the land. And then, so it will be between the hub and the Lands Commission. That's it.
Delivering an address at the interagency dialogue, Minister of Trade, Industry and Agribusiness, Elizabeth Ofosu-Ijari, assured investors of government's commitment to create a more investor-friendly environment, making it easier and faster for companies to set up operations in the country.
To our esteemed investors hearing present, we are working closely with PHDC and relevant ministries to eliminate bureaucratic bottlenecks. We are committed to fast-tracking approvals for trade-related permits and certificates linked to the Petroleum Hub. At the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, we have a BRR unit, Business Regulatory Reforms Unit, which is a one-stop shop for our investors. If you want land registration, if you want permits, it's a one-stop shop anytime you are thinking investment in Ghana. Be there and you are sure that everything will be done expeditiously for you.
Managing Director of the Tema Oil Refinery, Dr. Yusuf Suleimana, said the execution of the Petroleum Hub will enhance efficiency in the petroleum sector.
If you look at the hub, it's just like Tor, Bost, Ghana Gas combined. Fortunately, we've operated Tor. We've operated it efficiently before. We want to bring it back and operate it. We have operated Bost. We are doing our best. We've operated Ghana Gas, and we are doing excellent as well. So operating these three infrastructures together, I mean, it's almost like integrating it. And if I don't forget, we operated Jetty, and we are still operating it efficiently. So bringing this, aggregating all these infrastructures together, give us a bit of hope or glimmer of hope that Petroleum Hub is something we can do and do efficiently.
The establishment of the Petroleum Hub is expected to have a positive impact on the economy, creating jobs and stimulating economic activities in the country. And to some other stories, the Greater Accra Regional Branch of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry has initiated discussions to explore strategies for leveraging the government's 24-hour economic policy. Speaking to Joy Business at the Accra Branch Executive Business Forum, second Vice Chairman of the Chamber, Alexander Biwong, stated that government is enabled or is to enable members to explore ways to leverage the 24-hour economic policy. More in this report. The Greater Accra Regional Branch of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry Executive Business Forum seeks to identify opportunities and challenges associated with government's 24-hour economic policy and develop strategies to support businesses in adapting to the new operating hours. Speaking to Joy Business, Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the Chamber, Imran Kwache, said members are expected to share experiences, best practices, and innovative ideas on how to maximize the benefits of the 24-hour economy.
Government policy is government policy. And we are the citizenaries who shouldn't sit back. We should all come on board to see how best we can let it work. That's my candid opinion. Because at the end of the day, we are in one country and one economy. So if anything goes good, it's good for the people. If it goes bad, it's the same bad for the people. So I think as a business people, we have the wherewithal to create the jobs. You know, governments come out with policies, but the rest is left with the private sector. If the private sector is thriving, then you know that, yeah, the economy is doing well.
Second Vice Chairman of the Chamber, Alexander Biwong, tells Joy Business he is hopeful the Business Forum will enhance competitiveness and improve the business environment in Ghana.
If you look at the caliber of people, businesses we have here, they look promising, and members have come because they understand the policies that the government is bringing, and it's still too early, but once the business community embraces it, we should be able to help our people and create the jobs so that the 24-hour economy becomes a reality.
The Executive Business Forum was on the theme Navigating Economic Uncertainty, Strategic Outlook for Ghanaian Businesses. EcoBank has introduced a new mortgage initiative designed to assist clients in acquiring cars and homes through a convenient installment payment plan. The offer comes at a competitive loan rate and is specifically tailored to enable customers to lock in the current prices of their preferred assets, shielding them from the impact of inflation.
EcoBank is committed to assisting its clients in securing assets such as cars and homes through the introduction of its mortgage initiative. This initiative is designed to cushion clients by allowing them to lock in the prices of their preferred assets against the impact of inflation. Head of Asset Products at EcoBank Ghana, Felix Saki, emphasized the urgency for clients to take advantage of the offer. According to him, securing a car or home through the facility means beneficiaries can avoid future price hikes caused by the country's current inflationary trends.
The EcoBank Auto Loan is coming at an incredible interest rate, zero down payment. We have a discounted comprehensive insurance working for us. So those are the key things that you benefit when you take the EcoBank Auto Loan. We are giving you the opportunity to take a loan from us at an incredible interest rate. I can tell you our interest rate is the best on the market. No bank is able to match it. This gives us the chance of allowing our customers to buy vehicles and buy houses for themselves.
He further reiterated that the mortgage package is available to all salary account holders of the bank and encourages them to consider the long-term benefits of investing in assets today while spreading the cost over a manageable repayment period.
All salaried workers that receive their salary through EcoBank and they work for any of our pre-approved companies are entitled to it. The prices of vehicles that we know, like 5 years ago, have gone higher than what we expected. If you take a loan now, you'll be able to buy a vehicle today, as compared to you saving towards it. And as you save, the prices keep doubling or going up. So it becomes like you're chasing a shadow. But at this rate, you'll be able to get a vehicle today and you can drive it now whilst you pay for it later.
EcoBank's latest move is seen as part of its broader effort to support financial stability and asset ownership among its customer base.
Chief Executive of Solis Finance, Tony Abakisi, has reiterated their commitment to advancing financial inclusion by helping small and medium-scale enterprises to access credit. Now, speaking at a ceremony to launch the Solis Finance digital app, he noted that the platform will solve the financial needs of businesses.
The Solis Finance digital app is designed to help businesses meet their financial needs. With the app, businesses in the MSME sector and individuals can save money and access credit to boost their businesses. In an interview, Chief Executive of Solis Finance, Tony Abakisi, reaffirmed their commitment to enhancing financial inclusion by providing businesses with seamless transaction options.
We really hope it will go a long way to addressing a lot of the issues that MSMEs and individuals in the informal sector have. One of the issues is access. The app is going to be on 24/7. It doesn't matter where you are, it doesn't matter the time, you can have access wherever. We do verification on our app as well, which is instant. You don't have to get into a branch to do this. Any part of the country, you can do it as well. So we already know that Momo is widely used by a lot of people. I think what the financial sector, especially the banking industry, does is they sit outside of Momo. So what we are doing is we've taken Momo, it's made a lot of strides, and we are saying that people already keep their money in Momo and actually transact with Momo. So why keep your money in Momo all the time and not earn as much interest as you should? So by doing that link with Momo, you can actually earn interest. You're already on Momo, so join Solis, get some interest, and use that transaction history and activity that you've built on your Momo transactions to be able to access loans as well.
Head of Authorization and Payment Systems at the Bank of Ghana, Adeline Okran, called for a robust cybersecurity framework to safeguard the use of digital financial platforms.
Amidst these technological advancements lies the need for us to approach this transformation with caution and foresight. We are also witnessing a significant rise in cyber and information technology risks. If not properly managed, these risks, including cyber attacks and data breaches, could pose systemic threats to the financial sector and undermine efforts to achieve a sustainable cash-light economy.
The Solace Finance digital app reflects ongoing efforts to support the financial needs of micro, small, and medium enterprises.
This is still Prime Business. Excavator operators in the small-scale mining sector have received training on safe and efficient practices for sustainable industry. Under the training, the operators, mostly from the Ashanti and Western regions, are expected to understand the soil layers and sustainable practices of excavation. Anaya Ojima has more.
Excavators are modern equipment in small-scale mining for digging in gold exploration. Due to the limited training of its operators, some of them often work with less accuracy, leading to overdigging. This has contributed to destruction of land and increase in carbon emissions. Country manager for PL International Holdings Gold Coast Limited, Pravin Gali, explains.
People start operating machines from a very early age, okay? And everybody is having their own different way of operating machines. Or they have learned something from somebody which may not be the correct practice also. So it is important for them to know the right practices and to know how they can enhance the performance of the machine, so which in turn helps them in terms of boosting the production.
The technical training for excavator operators was organized by construction machinery makers Kobelco and their partners PL International through Wannabe Ventures. Ernest Dabo speaks for Wannabe Ventures.
So we at Wannabe decided that why don't we collaborate with Kobelco, which is one, their machines are fuel efficient, their machines are very good, of quality, and for that matter, if we are able to promote it and make sure that we teach these operators how to really excavate efficiently and then sustain a better excavations, their owners will be able to rake in more, and in so doing, they will not go to the extent of destroying more natural resources in order to get money.
Mining remains important to the Ghanaian economy, but it has dire consequences on the environment when done irresponsibly. Already, the government has intensified its fight against illegal mining, an attempt to reduce its negative impacts on the environment. President of the concerned Small-Scale Mining Association, Michael Kwadjopepra, explains the need for sector players to join hands in ensuring sustainable mining.
We are all against the destruction of our various forest bodies and our water bodies. So if government in its quest to make sure that all the bottlenecks that comes with the licensing is being taken out, I think a lot of people who wants to do the right thing rather fall on the community, the cooperative mining scheme.
For Joy News, Nanaya Ojima, Kumasi.
And that's all for Prime Business for tonight. I am Pius Kujubaka. We have more stories for you when you log on to myjoyonline.com/business. Prime Sources next.